All right, let's do our Mount Rushmore. So we have Mount Rushmore of college football traditions. I'm very interested to see where you go, Andy, here. So it's me and PFT as a team, the Hank, Bubba, Jake team, and then you. You are our guest. So you
Jake doesn't have to leave to drop a deuce
now.
No, he's good. His butt is great.
Well, don't jinx it.
Don't jinx it.
Yeah, he very much could.
Listen,
you never know.
I gotta tell you, Jake, I've never left a podcast to move my bowels. I guarantee you Marv Albert never left a broadcast.
Ooh.
Well, move his. You got to want
Pre-game meals are different.
Yeah.
No, Marv would just shit himself on
I'm
the
not
air.
eating Philly cheesesteaks before a broadcast.
Okay, well.
You got to want it more than that.
So we're not as important.
No, that's not true.
Okay, all right. You put yourself in that pickle.
Yeah.
All right, Andy, you want to start or you want to tell anyone else to start? Whatever you want to do.
Here's my thing. If I start, you know who I'm going to take. Because I'm going to be that guy.
You're going to pander,
I'm going to tell you right now, you have none of our picks.
Oh, okay, fine. Then I will do it.
Okay.
I'll take jump around.
Great. You don't have any of our picks.
Good.
That's great.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
All right. That's a great pick. Shout out jump around. I always tell the story, but they tried to ban it my freshman year because they said it was like a hazard for the journalists in the press box.
You can hear the bolts creaking in the press box.
Yeah.
How is that
Jump
not
around.
one of your
It's amazing.
picks?
Yeah. And what?
How is that not one
Because
of your
there's
picks?
a lot of great traditions in college
things.
football.
We got a lot of things because I also knew that someone else was going to take it. All right, we'll go with our first pick.
That's your college tradition.
No, we have a strong first pick.
Here. Oh, all right, fine. You want my all right, I'll go my favorite college tradition. And PFT agrees with this one. We talked beforehand. Betting the over in Bedlam no matter what.
Yep.
No matter what. Oklahoma and Oklahoma State play, you're
points.
betting the over.
Put on your
I
points
was at
hat.
the one where the year Kyler started for Oklahoma. I thought my face was going to melt off.
It's the best.
Taylor Cornelius throwing. There's a wide open guy in that 2-point conversion. He just misses him. It was amazing.
And the best one, I got to look up the year. Remember the year when there was a score right at the end?
They punted to Tyreek Hill. There was that one.
Yeah, they screwed up. Like it screwed up everything. I think it screwed up the spread and maybe the over under. I think it was the year that there was like no points in the first quarter and then it just all hell broke loose. But that's why it's the best because I could just sit there and watch Bedlam and know like you're never out of it. Because it's going to be Bedlam. At some point, it will be Bedlam.
I think both teams' defenses go into the game knowing, like, hey, we're going to fuck a lot of stuff up. Just wait. It's going to happen.
Yes.
Just don't be the last team to fuck up.
Exactly.
Yes.
Make one stop in the fourth quarter, and you can win this game.
Yeah, I think it was, let's see. I'll find it. But
and
go
then
ahead.
the thing I always love about that game is the sky in Oklahoma, in Stillwater especially. It's the blackest sky you'll ever see in your life.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's an ice storm.
Yes, when it's cold and you're like, is this going to affect it? Nope, points. I'm sure some fucking nerd's gonna tweet at me, be like, the over under is like 2 and 10 in the last 12 years.
Still gotta bet it.
Don't give a fuck.
Mike Gundy, his mullet is always like perfectly feathered before that game.
The whole thing is just the best. The best. Okay, you guys had that, huh?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
Nice.
We're gonna go. This might be controversial. We're gonna go with tailgating.
Oh, drinking beer.
Just tailgating.
The general concept of tailgating.
Okay. Good pick.
That's my favorite. Yeah, great
That's a good
college
pick.
football tradition.
Especially in New York City, where they're fans of every team.
Yes.
Yeah, we have that. We had that one too later on. And then second, neck.
Oh yeah, good pick.
Good pick.
Very nice.
We had
Crossing
neck
that one
also.
off my list now.
All right.
I think this is an easy one here.
Okay. Yeah.
For round 2.
Yeah.
Singing after the game in Army Navy.
Yep. I was going to say.
Sorry, you guys aren't as patriotic as me and Big Cat are. But I mean, you see that and you cry.
Winners sing last.
Well, you chose betting.
No, winners sing first. I'm an idiot. Winners sing first. Yes.
That's right.
Yes. That's the best. It is the best.
Isn't
Wait,
it
what did you
sing second?
Nothing. Is it sing second?
I
Yeah,
think
it
it's
is
sing second. It's sing second.
It's bad for our tradition here that we don't know.
I just like both. I think they're all winners out there, Andy, because they're fine, outstanding young men that are going to serve this country.
Well, they've gotten up very early in the morning their whole freshman year. So whatever flowers we can give them, absolutely.
It's winners sing second. Hank, what did you say? What was your snide
nothing.
comment?
No.
I'm
done.
didn't hear him.
I'm
no,
done
he
being
just makes
snide.
snide
It
comments.
was probably something anti-military.
Questioning PFT's patriotism. I know.
Of course. Okay. All right. You have 2 now, Andy.
All right. I'm going to go with Run Ralphie. And
Okay.
so I spoke to one of the people who came up with the idea of running Ralphie at Colorado, and it was exactly what you think it would be. A bunch of frat boys sitting around going, you know, it'd be cool if we ran a live buffalo on a field.
Yes.
And so one of them had a friend who had a dad whose dad was a bison farmer. And they didn't even, like, I asked the guy, I was like, so did you know that if he gave you a male, that the male would probably kill you? And did you ask for a female? He's like, no, we didn't know that. We didn't know that. Thank God he gave us a female.
I know.
So, yeah, that's why you have a live, basically 1,200 pound animal that can run faster than Usain Bolt.
Yep.
Being handled by 6 college kids who are basically hanging on for dear life.
And it's also
amazing.
It's a great pick too for our previous discussion about traditions and everything, because like I do miss the Colorado-Nebraska game. They did play the series, I think maybe it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and it was great to see those colors out there, but it also shows you what's happened to college football, and the change just keeps happening, where like I bet you if you asked a kid right now in his 20s, like, Nebraska and Colorado had like an awesome rivalry, they'd be like, what? They haven't been in the same conference in forever.
I know. And they'd have no idea. It's sort of like when I going back to the Texas-Oklahoma thing, the Big 12, I remember I was arguing with somebody during some period of realignment, and they're like, well, Texas and Oklahoma, they wouldn't play each other if they weren't in the same conference. I'm like, they did it for 100 years.
Right.
Come on. All right. So my next one, the boys went with the very general concept of tailgating, which is excellent, gathering with your friends and drinking.
Thank you.
Drinking beer,
I'm going to go a little more specific.
Okay.
The Vol Navy at Tennessee.
Ooh.
Okay.
Because tailgating is excellent. Tailgating on a boat
Sailgating.
is sublime.
Yes.
Sailgating.
Yes. So you're saying it's just not even the same out in Washington.
It's probably the same out in Washington. You're just richer.
Right. But no, I'm saying like Tennessee has Washington beat easily.
Because it just means more.
It means more.
And they
It
also
does. It means more.
they happen to put salt on their food in Tennessee.
Yeah.
and in Washington, everything's like you're lucky if you get a little squeeze of lemon juice.
Yeah.
On your pregame.
Maybe
meal
a
out
little
there.
tomato for your
Now,
ass.
Washington fans, let's not completely besmirch them. Washington and Oregon fans, as Pac-12 fans go, they get after it.
Yeah.
They absolutely get after it. It's not like, I remember the first time I went to a game at Stanford and we turned into the parking lots, and the first thing I see is a table with like 3 bottles of Chardonnay on it. I was like, this doesn't compute.
Right.
But the Washington fans do get after it. So I don't want them to think that we're not.
Yeah.
We don't think they can party, but they can't party like Tennessee people.
I
Coach
wish-
Dubs knows this.
Yeah.
I went to the Apple Cup this year, and the Apple Cup in Washington was fantastic. The best part about the tailgating was there's this giant hill that has like a couple trees on it, and that's where all the guys go to pee. So that you just pee on a hill, and when it's raining outside, which it usually is because it's November in Washington, like 50% of the guys that are peeing on this hill just slip and fall down the hill into a stream of their own piss.
And
that is tremendous. That's like in the Grove at Ole Miss, watching everybody in their 4-inch heels, trying to stand in line for the porta potty and just sink into the mud.
Yes. And I should say Washington, since we're doing Washington and we're complimenting them, the craziest TV angles ever, both basketball and football, and I have a simple brain. If you have a good saying, I will always think you're like a step away from being all the way back, and then being able to say Purple Rain, REIGN,
It is nice.
is awesome. Like that's going to be sick when they're back.
They always have like an awesome first-round draft pick too,
Right.
at Washington,
Right, yeah, cornerback or a quarterback.
or
yeah.
like a defensive
Vita
tackle.
Vea, former high school running back Vita Vea. Yes.
I was in Knoxville in 2015. They lost a heartbreaker. Like, I think it was overtime, double overtime, maybe to Oklahoma. Big game, night game, crazy atmosphere. They lose in heartbreaking fashion, and we are at the bars, like on Main Street. Obviously, everyone was deflated. But when Rocky Top comes on, everyone is depressed, but they can't not sing it. So it's like literally like it's going the good old Rocky Top. Woo! Like, but they're heartbroken. It was so funny.
A sad, sad Rocky Top.
Sad Rocky Top.
Half bear.
All right, I think PFT, we should go with when you texted me back the second one, and then I'll do the third one.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, go for it.
The second one from my second text to you.
Yes.
Texas being back.
Yep. One
Texas
of the best
being
traditions.
back. It's every year.
Yep.
Usually like late September, Texas is back.
We just will it into existence.
Set
They're
your
back
clocks
early
to it.
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
they're
they've been
really
back.
back. Yeah, they're really back.
Well, they're pre-back because
Yeah.
they're back in like 2 years, but they're already
back pending Arch signing a piece of paper in December.
Yes,
Right,
exactly.
Right, but it's just the discussion in and around Texas. Are they back? They're back, and then to be like maybe they're not back. It's just my favorite. It's just every year when the leaves turn, we do the same song and dance, and it always feels good.
I'm with you on that. I gave up on the whole Texas is back. I got fooled a few times. Like when I went from being a beat writer who just covered one school to covering more schools, and would go to Texas and you'd sit in Mac Brown's office and he'd explain why this is why it didn't work last year, but we've made some changes this year and it's definitely going to work. I'd be like, oh yeah, because you're looking around that place going, how could they not be good?
Right?
How can these people not be good? But they fooled me enough times that I really need to see it. Like I need to see them in the playoff before I will believe anything.
So at that point, that's your threshold. If they make the playoff, they're officially back.
Oh, I think
maybe win the Big 12 before they leave. I don't know.
I think at any point, if they're in the like projected playoff, they're back.
Yeah, no.
So if they make the playoff rankings like in November,
Yes.
My threshold
Okay.
is one big win in September. They're back.
well, they're playing Alabama.
Oh, that's
I don't think they're going to get that big win this year.
If they
I don't know.
if they lose by less than 21, they might be back.
That is your big win.
That might be
if
back.
they cover.
Yeah.
If they
they
cover
cover,
against
yes.
Alabama,
They
yeah.
might be back. Yes, that might be what makes them back right there. Okay, what's your next pick?
Our next pick is a team game. We know you guys only care about the betting and the players in the field. For me and us and our team, college football traditions, it's bigger than that. So
Watching
for our
on
next
television?
pick, we're going with the Iowa wave
Yeah.
to the hospital.
Oh, that was mine.
Yeah, we had that on our list too. That's a good pick for the kids.
That's good.
That's for the kids. That's what it's all about. For us. Mm-hmm. Maybe not you guys.
It is
No.
sweet.
Well, you
It's
guys,
very
yeah.
nice. I'm a father, so is Andy, so it's always about the kids.
And then, yeah, of course. And then our last pick
Do
means...
you have kids?
No,
So you don't care about the kids.
I care. Did you make it your Mount Rushmore pick?
I'm just
Well, we
asking.
had it on our list.
Yeah.
But you chose betting first.
Well, because we want the
We
kids.
didn't want to patronize the
Yeah.
children. We didn't
Yeah.
want to. I felt,
I care about the kids first.
No, I kinda
like
felt-
for me,
No,
it's like
you
kids.
didn't pick them first.
Yeah, you didn't. You
so
picked-
that's factually incorrect.
you picked getting hammered.
You went to the third round. Yeah, you tailgating.
Wait, so they went getting hammered. The troops, the kids.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, no, it's just
we have the truth.
like we have
Oh,
the
do you
troops.
have the troops?
Yeah.
Okay,
But-
sorry.
What was
we-
your second pick?
Neck.
Yeah.
Well,
You have
the kids.
bestiality,
You have to have
bestiality,
that before the kids.
tailgating.
Better late than
and then-
never.
Yeah, and then the kids. Okay, got it.
No, that's that. No, like we've actually talked about this beforehand. We felt guilty like using the kids as a prop to be like,
Correct.
hey, everybody vote for us because if you don't vote
kids.
for us, you're not voting for the sick children.
That's not. I
I
just my
wave to the
favorite college
kids every
football
day.
tradition.
You don't have to be at an Iowa football game to wave to the kids. I wave to the
but
kids
it is
all
a
the time.
college football tradition. And it's a great one. And then our last pick, Means pointed this out. It was one of the things that ended COVID. One of the most electrifying.
Sir Yacht?
No.
Oh.
Enter Sandman.
Okay.
Yeah,
Enter Sandman, electric every time. There was one like early in September 2020 or 2021 or whatever, and that was like they posted the video and everyone was like, this is an outrage. How could you do this? Blah, 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 blah. And that was kind of...
Yeah, that was a sick moment.
Yeah.
And then was that the game that North Carolina got killed? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, North Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina lost.
Yeah, North Carolina lost. Okay, our last pick is going to be responsibly trying to make all your money back on the late Hawaii game. Responsibly.
it's like 11:35.
Yeah. And I'm listening. My favorite is because they most of the time they weren't televised, finding the radio broadcast. And Robert Kakua, rest in peace, all-time broadcaster, that was also a nice welcome where it's like you got one eye open. You look at the Hawaii game, they're playing, San Diego State or San Jose State or someone, and you like look and you're like, all right, Hawaii's like, they're like 4-3. They're okay, but they've won all their games on the island, and then trying to deduce like, all right, and you always have the June Jones, Colt Brennan, Hawaii in your head, Tommy Chang, even if you want to go all the way back, you always have that in your head, so you think there's going to be a lot of points. It's just the best. It's the best. There's no better way to have I sit there with my phone in my ear, laying in bed, trying to stay up for the rest of the Hawaii.
And you're doing it because Washington State killed you.
Yeah, right. Something happened in the Pac-12 that has me heartbroken. Exactly. The dominoes fell.
So I was going to give a shout to my alma mater and go with We Are the Boys of Old Florida, where everybody sways in the third quarter. And now they play I Won't Back Down after that to honor Gainesville's own Tom Petty. But I don't think that fits in with the theme of where everyone else is going. So I've got to go further north. We're going to go to Morgantown, West Virginia.
Ooh.
Burning couches in celebration.
Ooh.
Yep.
Now,
I
burn
like
responsibly. Make sure it's your couch. Or, like when we were in college, our couches probably came from somebody else's garbage. Like if someone put a couch out to get taken away by the garbage, we would take it first. So like I would have no qualms about burning one of those couches to celebrate a big win.
It's a lot of fun.
I see nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
It's extremely dangerous, but it's a lot of fun. So I went to school at James Madison, which is very close to West Virginia. A lot of my friends went to West Virginia. A lot of West Virginia football fans are at JMU. That was like the team that they would follow as their big school. My freshman year, a house that I would go to frequently had two guys that were big West Virginia fans. They took all their couches out, burned them in the front lawn, had a giant ass bonfire of couch, right? Not that common at a school that's not West Virginia to celebrate a West Virginia win. Fire department shows up, and they're like, everybody get inside. So we hide inside. Fire department comes to the door, knocks on the door, and they're like, yeah, we need to talk to whoever the property owner here is. And they're like, those aren't our couches, sir. And the guy from the fire department walks inside, looks around. There's no furniture in the house because it's all out on the lawn on fire. I think they got arrested for it and went to jail. But it was a great try. It was a great attempt.
Yeah.
So they went.
Somebody
That's
snuck
not my weed on a couch.
Yeah. They're like, somebody must have brought their furniture to my front yard and lit it on fire. Hope you catch the bastards.
Yes, that's fucking fantastic. All right, we have honorable mentions that we want to do. I had a couple. You like this one, Andy. I had people being mad about a Big Ten West team being in the college football playoff conversation. It seems like every year,
every time.
A lot of mad about Iowa. Whenever Wisconsin has, racked up a few wins, people get very upset about that. I always enjoyed that a lot. I also had Maction was just missed the cut, but Maction is one of my favorite. The Beth Mowins 11 a.m. Big Ten game is also a favorite of mine. Ease your way into, like whenever they now
coming to you live from Champaign, Illinois.
Yeah, it's just something about it. It's like, you go straight from the hype of game day and they're doing the, everyone's going crazy, and then it's just boom, click right over, and it's 8,000 people in Evanston. I love it. Because hey, guess what? The money's still the same on that game. So I love always hearing her voice on Saturday morning.
Well, dovetailing off that, just Brett Bielema in general.
Yeah.
He's he's an institution in his own right.
Yes.
I had the Penn State whiteout. I know they stink in the whiteout games, but it's still fun to watch. Rolling the Oaks or Poisoning the Oaks, if you're Harvey Updike.
Rolling Tumors Corner was one of my honorable mentions, but yes.
Tennessee losing a rivalry game.
Yep.
That's always fun.
Happens a lot.
Happens all the time, like 3 times a year. And then I think they took all the other ones that we had.
I also had Nebraska pretending that steroids didn't exist in the 80s and 90s.
But no more balloons.
No more balloons. Helium shortage. This one there's a couple that I had that are gone that I missed dearly. Oregon always losing to a more physical team in November.
That happened last year.
Yeah, but I guess it did. Who did they? Yeah, you're right.
Utah kicked the crap out of them.
Kicked the crap out of them twice. Yeah. All right, so that actually still does exist. I guess it was more when they were doing the Chip Kelly style offense and they'd score 1 billion points. And
then
then
Stanford would beat them.
Yeah, and then Stanford would kick the shit out of them. Also, off of that, one of my favorite college football traditions is during the Chip Kelly era when you would bet on Oregon or the over, and it would be on the bottom line, and it would be Oregon 8-0, 14-15 left in the first quarter, and you'd be like, fuck yes. Like, we're off and running. That was one of the most thrilling things you could watch. And then the last one I had that's no longer here, hopefully someday we get it back, Urban Meyer losing to a far inferior opponent and then citing medical issues.
They had just the craziest ones that, like, I went back and looked at that Purdue game and that Iowa game.
Yeah.
They make no sense. Ohio State doesn't lose those anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
They almost had one to Maryland too.
Yeah, that was
And
the one where he kept
Urban
on
was
collapsing.
passing out. Yeah.
Yes.
He was like strapped to a gurney. He looked like Hugh Freeze by the end of it.
Okay. Any other honorable mentions for you?
Yeah, I got a couple. I got the Cowbells at Mississippi State. They actually spent a week at SEC spring meetings in Destin one year debating on whether they would allow the ringing of cowbells at Mississippi State. And Davis Wade Stadium allowed to have cowbells. It's a glorious thing. One of my favorite memories. So back in 2014, they beat Auburn. They moved to number 1 in the poll. The next day, I'm flying home. I covered the game in Starkville, and I was flying home out of Birmingham. And there's this guy sitting at my gate in the Birmingham airport. And I'm looking at him, and he's like messing with his hand. And I see he's got a giant blister between his thumb and index finger in that area. And I go, that's not from ringing a cowbell, is it? And he's like, as a matter of fact, it is. It's my family cowbell. And I was like, you people are amazing.
That's
so
awesome.
I got that one.
I love, by the way, the idea of with all this conference realignment, like if Notre Dame went to the SEC or Stanford ended up with the SEC or something, like the mix of fan bases, like Mississippi State cowbell in South Bend, Indiana, how mad Notre Dame alums would be. Like that
so
kind of
great.
shit makes me laugh
They get mad
so
when
much.
their young fans stand up to cheer.
yes.
Like,
Yeah.
So I got midnight yell at Texas A&M as another honorable mention.
That's
and then
they're a cult.
Buckeye stickers.
Okay.
I don't know, y'all probably were probably middle school when this came out. That was my freshman year of college. There was one of those This Is Sports Center commercials, and it has, I don't know if he was the actual Ohio State equipment manager or an actor playing him, but he's explaining how you get a Buckeye sticker. He's like, make a big hit, Buckeye. Catch a touchdown pass, Buckeye. And so I was a walk-on at the time, and like that was the big joke in our scrub walk-on locker room. Like anytime anybody did anything of significance, we just scream Buckeye. So that will always have a place in my heart.
I like that.
I always
one.
thought you could use somebody as a decoy on that and take like your shittiest player, load their helmet up with stickers, and then draw a ton of attention from the defense, and then have your best player with a completely brand new fresh helmet.
Thinking about that. So we did a rewatch on the podcast of the 2015 Ohio State Michigan State game. That you mentioned that PFT, that's genius. Because like, what if they took all the stickers off of Joey Bosa's helmet?
Yeah,
Right.
no one would know
Would
he's
you
good.
even know it's Joey Bosa?
Right.
Because it's November. He has a clean helmet. It can't be Joey Bosa.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like this guy's a scrub. He hasn't even been in a game
Or
yet.
it's like the other Bosa brother that no one's talked about yet.
Yeah.
Like getting his first action.
Yeah.